Day, Trump meeting with the press gave us some very interesting insights into what's going on in Iran, how he's seeing it. So let's get through it. I want to play some of these clips and talk about them. So here's our president.
The country out militarily in the first 4 weeks. I took it out militarily. Now all we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily with the other 25% of the targets. We've hit 78% of the targets that we've wanted to hit. We've knocked out their manufacturing. We've knocked out their missile production. We've knocked out their drone production. We've knocked out everything. In some cases, when I say knocked it out, 70, 80, 90%. It's amazing what we've done. So I've done that within that period of time that I mentioned, but I don't want to rush myself, because every story says, oh, Trump is under time pressure. I'm not. No. You know who's under time pressure? They are.
There it is. Isn't that interesting? Like, first of all, for an 80-year-old man, Trump rattles off the facts like crazy. I mean, this guy is so sharp. It's unbelievable. But the confidence, okay, I want you guys to pay attention to that. It's not just what he's saying, it's how he's saying it. And he lists all that off. And then the most important parts at the end there, I'm not in a rush. That's very important because everybody is trying to rush him. Why? The question is why? Because they want him to screw up. They want him to get out without finishing the job. We're talking all the media, paid shills, all the grifters, everybody who's paid Mockingbird Media because they are getting their orders straight from City of London, the globalists, whoever, the cabal. They're getting those orders. It's like we are dying here. We're done. Trump is ending us. Our only hope is to survive this and rise again another day. But if he gets to the point where Iran is completely handicapped in every single way, or regime change, if he gets either of those goals, it's over. Like, and I mean not just over now, because it's already over now. It's over for them in the future. They're not going to be able to get back into the Middle East. I mean, I'm not saying never, but it's going to take a very long time. Iran is the key. Once Iran's taken care of, it completely stabilizes the Middle East. All these other countries have now made peace with Israel. Once Iran's gone, the terrorist funding is gone. Hezbollah, Hamas will die out. Iran itself won't be threatening Israel anymore, won't be threatening anybody with a nuke, won't be controlling all this stuff. I mean, the stability will come to the Middle East. And so you no longer can just trigger wars whenever you want to get the war machine ramped up. The bankers won't have that control anymore. It's gone. City of London is going to be dried up financially. They were making trillions off the shipping, off the oil control, the manipulating the prices. All gone. It's wild what he's pulling off. And so that's why they're all parroting this thing. You got to get it done. Got to get it done. He's got to get a deal done. We're losing. Trump's just got to get out. But Trump's telling us exactly what's going on. He's like, no, I don't. I'm completely in control right now. Completely. Here he doubles down on it by talking about the strait.
They would have opened it up 3 days ago. They came to us and they said, we will agree to open the strait. And all my people were happy. Everybody was happy except me. I said, wait a minute, if we open the strait, that means they're going to make $500 million a day. I don't want them to make $500 million a day until they settle this thing. So I'm the one that kept it closed. We have total control of it. And it'll open when they make a deal or something else happens that's very positive.
Did you hear what he just said? This is crazy. If you think about it, he said that they offered to open up the strait and the people, his people came back to him and said, hey, they're going to do it. We're going to open up the strait. And Trump said no. He said, why would I want the strait open? We're in complete control right now. What has been the number one thing we keep hearing? Open the strait, open the strait. They didn't prepare for the strait to be closed. It's going to crash the global economy. Trump, this is the big mistake. This is why Iran's winning. They still control the strait. Trump's like, I don't even want to open. He's telling you exactly what's going on, guys. And if you haven't learned by now that everybody else is lying and Trump's the only one not lying to you, I'm not saying Trump has never lied, because sometimes he does to expose in different ways or to throw people off. But when he's talking to the American people, he's telling the truth. When he's saying this kind of stuff, he's telling the truth. He wants us to know it. And if by now you haven't figured out that the media is the ones lying to you, I don't know what to tell you. I just, man, it's just, you might as well just go enjoy a life somewhere else, not ever turning on the news, because no truth's ever going to reach you. It's never going to reach you. Here's Trump putting down the fact that we ever used nukes, which is just perfectly Trump, that he hates nuclear weapons.
Sir, would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need
That's
it.
not
Why
what
do I need
about.
it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked?
Why
Why would I use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
I mean, that's what they were trying to get the gotcha question. The try to get him to say something like, well, maybe, and then they can put it on the headline the next morning. Trump says nukes are on the table. That's what they wanted to do. And Trump, again, best political instincts of anybody I've ever seen. He can sniff out a gotcha question better than anybody ever has. He's the king. And so deflect that easy, just put it back in their place. But so look at this. This one's just funny too.
We have no pressure. It's only guys like you with a question like that about what's your time. We've been doing it for 5.5 weeks.
But sir,
is your administration, Mr. President,
8 weeks that the U.S. now has been involved with Iran. You had initially said it would be 4 to 6
Well,
weeks.
I
and it
hope
would be
that, but
over.
I also took a little break. I gave them a break.
I took a little break. Nobody deflects. Diffuses a gotcha like he does. I took a little break. It's just amazing. Just amazing stuff. Okay, let's get into this though. So this is where you start seeing the connections, okay, to City of London. It's all EU. So you have NATO actively assisting enemies of U.S. military. Reports are emerging alleging that NATO powers, France, Germany, and Britain have shared intelligence with Iran regarding the movements of U.S. forces in exchange for no-charge passes. I mean, again, it's the same thing with the media. Okay, if you haven't figured out the media is lying to you, I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't figured out that Europe is our real enemy here, with City of London as its hub, controlling the EU, if you haven't figured it out, I don't know what to tell you. It's been so obvious here. We have never gone to a war since World War II or gone into a skirmish of anything without UK and NATO supporting us. And this was the first one they sit out on. Why? Because it's the first one they didn't want. It's the first one they didn't want to be a part of because it hurts them, because it's breaking up the globalists. Watch this little clip here.
In a controversial deal amid recent tensions over the Strait of Hormuz, France, Germany, and Britain reportedly shared intelligence on American military force movements with Iran. The exchange was said to secure the cancellation of Iranian-imposed transit fees on commercial shipping through the vital waterway, which carries about 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas. The deal was reportedly proposed to Iran through diplomatic channels and was initiated by a coalition of 3 major NATO countries: Britain, France, and
that's crazy. Those are the 3 that matter, right? They matter the most. So, and it doesn't surprise me at all. But what did they say just a few days ago? As soon as Trump was like, the deal's done, we're opening it up, they were like, we're announcing a coalition to go hold the strait open. And Trump was like, no, you guys can stay home. And now they got now it's a week later and Trump's holding it closed and they're like, let's make a deal with Iran I mean, this is the craziest part. Sharing intelligence with Iran regarding the US. I'm telling you, the exposure that's coming out from this is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. People are waking up so quickly. So knowing that, listen to what Trump had to say about Putin knowing this, okay? So if you don't know, Putin is the enemy of the EU. He hates the globalists, the deep state. He does. He's it doesn't mean him and Trump are best friends. It doesn't mean they'll agree on everything and how to do everything, but they can agree on that enemy. And Trump respects him for it and also knows that Russia's going to be a great ally to us when this is all over, especially with Russia, Ukraine, and especially as EU, City of London starts falling apart, their grip starts falling, and they actually have to go back to being forced to become sovereign nations to build themselves back up. That's what Trump's in the process of doing. That's how he's going to break up the globalists. He's going to force those nations to go back to being sovereign, and he's weakening them so the people can rise up and take back their countries when they're ready. So listen to this about Putin. And this is one of those things that just tells you Trump knows. He knows that they are the real enemy. And it's not Russia. China, yes, as well. But China's not as big as enemy to us as the globalists are. They're just not.
What do you say, sir, that you're going to invite Vladimir Putin to the G20 in Miami? Is that the case?
No, but if he came, it would be probably very helpful. I've said a long time ago when they made the G8, the G7, they threw Russia out before my time. That was Obama and a certain prime minister from a place called Canada, Trudeau. And I said, that's a stupid thing to do. And I was right. I'd go to these meetings of the G7, and about 90% of the meeting was talking about Russia and what's going on with Russia. And I said, why'd you throw them out? If they didn't throw them out, they would have been much better off, in my opinion. It should have been the G8. But when they threw out President Putin, he was very offended by that. He was, rightfully, but he was very offended by that. I venture to say you probably wouldn't be having these problems if you didn't throw him out.
You know what Trump just did? Trump just put Putin on the same. So most Americans have been psyoped into believing that Putin is the great evil resurrection of, Stalin. Okay. They do. And I'm not saying Putin's a good guy, and that's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just not. But he's not what we've been told he is either. Okay, he just wants Russia to be left alone. He's like, let me make my country great. Leave me alone. But he just put Putin on the equivalent basis as these other leaders. He's normalizing Putin again. And I'm telling you, Trump's been trying to do this for a while. And the media, because they know all of us have been psyoped to think how evil Putin is, have always like, Trump's close to Putin. He's always giving in to Putin. And they want Ukraine to be the one we love and support and look at them as poor little Ukraine, even though Obama completely took over Ukraine through a color revolution in 2014 for the globalists, and it became the most corrupt nation on earth. That wasn't me that said that. That's the New York Times that said it in 2017, 2019, somewhere in that range. So Ukraine is awful. Zelensky's awful. Putin was like, they're encroaching on my borders, so they went to war. And everybody's using it as, Putin's now trying to take over the world. He's trying to take over the EU. No. You guys realize Putin wants this war to be over because he knows that now that Trump's back, Trump won't let Ukraine go into NATO. Look at the deals Trump's already tried to broker. He has given Russia basically what they wanted in these deals they brokered and been like, look, Ukraine, you at least won't die. And Zelensky almost took it last year, and the EU and UK said, no, you're not taking that deal. In 2022, when war first started. After 2 months, there was a peace deal negotiated, and EU went to Zelensky and said, do not take it. They want this war to keep going on because they want to maintain control of Ukraine. It's where they do their money laundering, their biolabs, and human trafficking. A lot of it goes through Ukraine. And Trump is just like, I'm so done with this. Now, again, he gets frustrated with Putin sometimes because Putin doesn't going to do everything the way Trump wants. But once we're done with Ukraine, once that's done, once Iran's done, and completely like he gets us out of NATO or defunds NATO or figures that part out, that's going to leave Europe and City of London as a shell of themselves, and they're going to have to figure that out on their own, and Trump's not going to bail them out. He ends Russia-Ukraine. All of a sudden, we're going to have an allyship, a trade deal with Russia. Watch. I would not be surprised if it happens by the end of Trump's term. That we're trading with Russia, and with Russia, with their, first of all, how close they are to us. I mean, look at where Alaska is. And then with their resources and what we could do, trading back and forth, do you understand the wealth that could come by putting those two countries in with each other? You know, Russia was one of our greatest allies in the 1800s. They were backing us up in the Civil War, the North, when in Lincoln, when UK and France were ready to back up the South, as they wanted us to break apart. UK, Revolutionary War, they were the ones we're fighting against. Russia sent troops. In our 250 years as a nation, we have had more time where we were allies with Russia than with the UK. Just remember that. Just remember that. That's a stone cold fact. Go look it up. And this is what Trump's doing. He's starting to normalize Putin again. Because Trump just wants us all to be sovereign countries. You know, even if Trump has disagreements with Putin, he knows that the globalists are, Putin's like, I don't want to do anything to you guys. I just want to make my country great. I want to build Russia back up. So, you know, it's like, oh, we got idiot. Goodbye. So here, watch Trump call out now Prince Harry and UK. This is very interesting how he talks about UK here.
Prince Harry today has said that he would like to see you do more to end the war in Ukraine. Do you think it's appropriate for a royal to make those comments ahead of the visit on Monday?
Prince Harry?
Yes, sir.
How's he doing? How's his wife? Please give him my regards, okay? No, I don't know. I know one thing. Prince Harry is not speaking for the UK. That's for sure. I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry. But I appreciate his advice very much.
Prince Harry today has said that he would like to see you do more to end the war.
Did you hear what he just said? So think about this. Harry is the one who left the royal family, okay, because of Markle. She's a nut job. But Harry's like, end the war in Ukraine. And what does Trump say? This is very interesting if you understand what's going on. He says, Harry doesn't speak for the UK. Why? Because the UK wants to stay in the war. They want it to keep going. They want to keep Russia tied up. They hate Russia. And they're trying to get us to go World War III with Russia. That's what they ultimately want. That's why they keep trying to get us involved. We got close with Biden. But what does Trump say? He says he doesn't speak for the UK. I can speak for the UK. In other words, Trump knows exactly what the UK says. Like, they want it to keep going. They've already proven it many times. Again, it's just, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand like the connections here, the City of London and how it controls the UK and is the hub, you see the connections, you can't unsee it. How MI6 created the Muslim Brotherhood, which has ties to the IRGC. I mean, you keep seeing it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Trump knows it. He keeps giving us, and I got to say, one of the most genius parts about Trump is like how he'll call out the deep state and stuff, but he knows like not to give the full details on stuff so he can keep working on it. It's amazing. because too many people would be like, what? But he does drop hits all the time. Now, look at where we're at and just get an idea of like what's going on with the Iran and just how in control we are. We have the supreme leader can barely speak and is severely burned. Water says he's missing a leg, has been cut off from his own commanders. The regime's panicking over Trump's blockade and they can hardly communicate with each other. This is like some of the real stuff coming out of Iran. Actually, let me do that in a second here. I want to do this first. Now look at this. Update from IRGC. Inside IRGC. I've been scrolling through IRGC regime channels or social media lately, same ones who brag about hunting down protesters and Khamenei's jihad orders. Slowly it's sinking in for them that they got played hard. They're getting extremely paranoid and keep accusing each other of being coup plotters, spies, or traitors. The funniest comment I read, and something I hadn't thought of myself, is this one. Those forces they brought in from Iraq and Afghanistan weren't for protesters, they were for us. Otherwise, why would Israel not hit them during the war when they were right in front of fire? It was a sharp, spot-on observation. I think it's true. Over the past decade, regime brought in millions of Afghans to act as a people's army defending them. IRGC trained Afghan Shia fighters and sent them to Syria to fight for Assad. After Assad fell, they brought many of them back inside Iran to help suppress the protests. Right after the 12-day war last summer, they suddenly started deporting them en masse. At least 100 or 1.5 million kicked out quickly and forcibly. Accused of spying for Israel. 1.5 million. Clearly, they got scared because they know a mercenary army isn't truly loyal to them. This is panic going on inside Iran. Now, since the war started, a fresh wave of Afghan Shia militias has been coming in anyway and didn't get hit by Israel or U.S., but the Bazijis, I don't know how to pronounce that, finally doing the math too bad. Get ready for a coup, one led by defectors inside the regime. Coordinate with Israel, the U.S. to purge the hardliners. It's coming. So very interesting stuff. This is the kind of reporting you're not getting from, anybody. But he went and saw all the posts. It's pretty crazy seeing what they're saying to each other. Isn't that what reporters should be doing? But not in our world. We're just going to, talk about how Iran's winning this war because they control the Strait of Hormuz. So crazy. No, Trump's got them played perfectly. They're freaking out as their economy is about to crash, as everything they have is about to fall apart. And they're scared of their own people. There is panic in Iran. No matter how many freaking stupid Lego videos they put up on on X to mock us. No, we're winning. And they're just puffing out their chest trying to act cool, but Trump is destroying this regime. Look at this. I mean, why is nobody talking about this either, except for me and a few other places? But this is one of the biggest wins ever. How much oil we're producing here now. We don't even need the Strait of Hormuz. The rest of the world's panicking. We don't need it. Again, this is why Trump is like, I'm cool. I'm in not a hurry. Total U.S. crude oil and petroleum product exports are to a record almost $13 million or barrels per day. Exports have surged 2.5 million barrels per day since the Iran war began. Wild. Look at this. That is so much money coming into our nation. And while this is going up, like the prices are starting to finally come back down again too. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I figured J.D. Vance could sum it up for us, what's going on here.
I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually...
There it is, folks. There it is. Thank you, J.D., for the amazing breakdown, but let's hear it again.
I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president...
On Meet the Press, too. This is where they all watch, all the politicians watch it. Hilarious. I love this man. I love this administration so much. So incredible stuff, guys. We are winning so hard. I mean, the Iran thing, it's going to fold at some point, and with it's going to be City of London and all this EU. I have a feeling that once Iran's gone and finished up, which I think could happen any day now, they are apparently 4 to 5 days away from their oil wells. their reserves being overflowed, so they have to turn the wells off, which they cannot do because that is D-Day for their oil industry in Iran. Set them back several months to years. They can't do it. They cannot lose that, and so they are on the clock. It's falling apart for them. So keep your eyes open, but